This is the Red All Over reaction show to Barnsley versus Portsmouth. A fairly all-right 3-2 loss, given that I think majority of us were expecting a bit more of a hammering than that. But again, a little bit annoying in terms of having the lead twice and letting it slip. So we're going to be reacting to the Portsmouth game, and then we're also going to be previewing Blackpool. But first, we have got a competition stroke giveaway in the works. It's already out on social media, on Facebook and Twitter, and I think it's on Instagram as well. So we will be sponsoring a children's football team next season. All you have to do to enter, get on Facebook or Twitter and share the post and comment which team it would be. So it's open to all age groups and all teams who play in the Barnsley District League. Is that correct, Andy?
Under 12s. Only under 12s.
Only.
Yeah,
right.
under 12s and below.
Yeah.
But if you're going to put a particular team, put what age group as well. Don't say so and so. We need to know if it's under 9s, under 10s, under 6s, under 5. Wherever it is.
Yeah. So be specific. Otherwise, there'll be some shirts to grow into.
Like Alan Smith under 7s, that sort of thing.
Be some team that. So yeah, that's a competition. Get involved. Get it shared. It's already on social media, so get stuck in. Right, let's get into the rest of the show. So, Andy, as I said there in the intro, one of those games which, it feels reminiscent of the games we've had previously against the better sides in recent weeks. I'm looking back at Bolton, I'm looking back at Peterborough, where we've been in these good positions in that game, not necessarily looking out of his depth as well against these sides. And again, we've been pegged back, but this time we went one further and actually lost it, which annoying given that 80 minutes we're 2-1 up, and in what were it, about 5 minutes, it had gone from 2-1 up to 3-2 down.
Both sides played well. Both sides got stuck in and made it a game that was worth watching. Whichever team you supported, or if you didn't support either Pompey or Barnsley, it was a game that were well worth watching. I thought we more than matched them. If I'm honest, I thought we were the best side over the 83 minutes. Let's put it that way. I thought we pressed well. I thought we passed well. We looked like the side we expected us to be a month or so ago, before we started, dropping points and dropping performances even more than the points. So I was personally really, really chuffed with the performance. I thought the first goal were a good reaction by Statistical. Barry Cotter put a shot in, and it looked an easy shot for the goalkeeper, who went down to get it. But before it got through to the goalkeeper, Devanti stuck a foot out. He followed it in. Good lad.
2 assists in 2 for Big Barry as well.
I thought, go back to Barry then. I thought Barry had a really good game. His throw-ins were phenomenal. I thought he played well. He got put down a few times, but I thought he played well. It was nice to see Devanti Cole stick a foot in and get it in. It was nice to see him score for his benefit. I think he's a confidence player myself. And to get his foot in there. And then, of course, we give it 2 minutes, and we'll let them equalise. And they had some tricky play. They're left with kept cutting in all the time, cutting in shot, and the ball spun about. And I don't know if I blame Jordan Williams for not getting it, or feel sorry for him, because ball went up and bobbed about, and he didn't know where it was. He was spinning around trying to see where he was, and then their players, before he could get to it, we didn't really get much of a blocking. Well, we didn't get a blocking. Smacked it in to make it 1-1. And then, sadly, right at the end of the first half, an absolutely fabulous ball by Herbie Kane putting John McAtee through, and Guy couldn't catch him. And Will Norris showed why he's in the League One team of the season. He came out and made a really good save. It were a real shame, because I thought McAtee had done everything right and just couldn't get the final shot past him. So 1-1, and so you're thinking, well, that's all right. 1-1, they'd be happy with a point. We could live with a point. That'll be all right. And the second half, we set about them again. I worried that it were going to be, that's our good 45 minutes, like Alan always says, we play 45 minutes each game and that's about it. But I thought we played another good 45 minutes or very nearly, and kept them under the cushion. And they were getting, I think, the crowd and the players were getting very nervous. They had a couple of chances. We had a couple of chances. I thought we might have had a penalty on Devante. I didn't expect us to be given it. And there might have been a handball in there, but we're not going to get them. Not going to get them. And then all of a sudden, Cadden, who'd not had the greatest games, he'd put a lot of energy in, but their winger really gave him a bit of a torrid time, got the ball and set off, and flew past a number of their players who couldn't get to him. And as they started to go to him, put McAtee through, absolutely through, slotted it in, made up for the previous one, slotted it in 2-1. And I thought we were comfortable at 2-1. They had some chances. They got a bit nervous, putting, shots high over the bar and what have you. But I thought we were doing well. And I honestly thought up to 82 minutes, we're going to win this. We could well win this. And the job's a good one. And then, oh, dear me. Saeedi's only been on a few minutes, took it into a box, and to try and block it, John McAtee's gone to ground as he often does to block it. Or get the ball. He didn't get the ball. I thought at first glance that he got the ball, but from a different angle, he didn't. He didn't get the ball, and Saeedi went down like a good one over his leg, and we wouldn't have got it. I honestly don't believe we wouldn't have got it, but I do think it were a penalty because I think the kid fell over his leg very, very well, soft. But I thought, he did well. It's the sort of penalty that you get in front of 18,000 of your own fans. So I think the referee weren't great. He weren't in a great position to see it, and the linesman who was not a dicky bird from the linesman, so that were a bit disappointing. And then Colby Bishop, who'd done very, very little since he'd come on, slotted it in and gets all the flaming plaudits. So we make a change to try and keep it there, and we bring McCart on for Conor Grant, who I thought had a really good game. When it was first said that Conor was, making his debut, in the starting lineup, I thought, oh, I don't know, this was going to be a high-pitched game. I thought he played really, really well. He came off, McCart came on, get a defender on to try and defend it, and by God, we didn't defend that corner, did we? Oh dear, how many times? But smacked it in, player hotline, still didn't stop it. So 3-2, disappointing defending, I thought, for that. But overall, a really good performance. So in that respect, I'm proud of them. Glorious defeat.
It's one of them weird ones, Al. Obviously, if you look at the last sort of sample of games in which we've had last four or five games, we've not seen sort of anywhere near that level of endeavour, realistically, and that level of quality. Obviously, that chance on McAtee just before half time, if he takes that, it's a little bit of a different balance of a game. And as Andy's mentioned, at 2-1, we looked fine, and then McAtee diving in is a striker's challenge for me. They've made that challenge. You don't need to really do it necessarily, but it's just so frustrating to sort of be in the position in which we were at that time and to not come out with anything from it as well.
It is. It's gutting, and we had 54% of possession. We had more possession than them. We'd both got 14 shots on target, 14 shots at goal. We got 5 on target, and they got 4. And so they got 3 out of 4 were goals and went on board for them onto it. And it's been like that all season. And it's, as Colin says, it's fine margins, and stats prove it were fine margins. And yeah, I think he should have stood up, to be honest, McAtee. He shouldn't have gone to ground in penalty area. You're open to referee getting a penalty with slightest touch. And I think he made it a penalty, to be honest. He'd only been on a few minutes, hadn't he? Sadie, and he made it. Unfortunate. That lifted the crowd then, and crowd became 12th man for them, didn't it? It pulled them on. Point, to be honest, last night it had been brilliant for us. It had been a great point, and I think we should have had a point. No disrespect, we should have come away from Fratton Park with a point, but then, as I say, ended up we easy-headed into Shaughnessy. Who were marking him? I mean, McCart were behind him. You've got to be solid. There's zonal marking at corners is weak. And look how many goals we've conceded from set players. It's not been good this season.
I think just on that, I think we are one of the lowest teams that's conceded set plays. I think BFC stats prior to the last two games had put we'd only conceded 2 corners so far this season. And
Doubled it then.
So we've done all right. It's just the last 2 games we decided to sack it off a bit.
It is though, but the worries now we've only won 1 in 7, and if you go to 10, we've won 2 in 10. Now we're at business end of season, and looking at it, we're still looking over the shoulders. There's no certainty that we're going to stay in top 6, and that's a worry for me.
Yeah, I think it certainly is. Craig, obviously, when you sort of look at, I know on Saturday you said you just want to see an improved performance, not necessarily too interested in the result, which we've almost gone in that direction from what you'd said. Do you think though that it's going to be one of those that is a little bit of a difficult one to swallow because we've gone to the now champions, we've matched them, and we've come away with nothing? Which, if I'm Palace, I'm like, what's it going to take at this moment in time for us to actually get a win? We've played well, and there's just been a couple of, two set plays in 4 minutes that have undone us from coming away with 3 points to nothing.
Yeah, they weren't going to be denied. I mean, that crowd was amazing. Listening to them rallying the team. I mean, you could visibly see it in the players. It were affecting their players. It were making them. They were just. It just made them quicker. Quicker at reacting. They were getting balling fast. And look, first of all, I'll just say congrats to Pompey. I think they've been by far the best team in the league. Been a long time waiting for them to get up. And I think they've got an amazing fan base. Still there after all them years we had at Premier League. They've still got the stadium full every week. So kudos to them. I think it were a good game to watch as a neutral, but frustrating as a Barnsley and a Pompey fan at times. I think it would have probably. We should have got a point from the game, but that edit last minute or whatever, it's that.
Yeah, the 89th minute.
Yeah, we weren't going to come back from that. It was a stupid foul from McAtee. Why he's throwing his legs in the air at that time during the game is just asking. It was a striker's tackle, and it's the worst possible time to do it when the fans are absolutely screaming at the referee for every single decision. And I think the referee probably buckled a little bit. But then again, if that's happening at Oakwell, I'm doing the same as every Pompey fan in there. To me, it looked like a penalty. So I think we had some good performances out there. Conor Grant, I thought, I was calling for him to start. I said it at the end of the last preview. I says, I want to see Conor Grant come on because he's got some composure on the ball, the ability to pass and move. And I think he really... He put his sin in the hat for playing in every future game. I don't think he did it himself any harm whatsoever. Roberts, the first goal, it's above him. I mean, what he's done is as soon as the striker's gone to hit it, he's crouched down, preparing to dive into either corner. He's just gone above him. If he stood up at the time when the shots hit, I don't think it goes in. But I don't think whatever. The thing I will say is that performance compared to what it was earlier on this season when we played them were chalk and cheese. Yeah. We were competitive. We went there to try and win instead of just trying to draw, which I thought we'd probably go back and go in and defend, and we didn't. We went head to head with them, and I think for 82 minutes we were the better side. But that last 10 minutes, that them fans rallied their players, and congrats to Portsmouth because it's now made it really difficult for us. We've got Blackpool next, 5 points behind us. If we lose against Blackpool, it's down to the last game of the season, and it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, it's the Barnsley way, though. We're only ever going to do this. Once we start falling off, we're only ever going to do this. We should have all been prepared for a last day, and it'll come down to the last minute, and we'll score to equalise and send us into playoff probably.
Well, at least we've got Devante scoring again anyway.
Yeah. It is. Andy, a couple of things which I found interesting was obviously Corey O'Keefe and Jallo not getting the nod to start. Barry Cotter sort of coming in, as well as Craig's mentioned, Conor Grant coming in. A bit of a unexpected team sheet, to be fair. But again, given the game on Saturday, Collins kept it fresh. It worked in the most part. And to say sort of the tools in which he's got of players that were not really like Conor Grant is still a little bit of an unknown due to lack of playing time. We know what we're going to get with Barry Cotter, and it could be anything.
Can you tell me what we get with Barry Cotter? Because I'm not sure Barry knows what he gets from his set.
2 assists in 2.
I've never known what we've
get
got from Barry.
2
I don't mean that
2. Big Baz is
disparagingly.
flying.
I thought I was really surprised when O'Keefe weren't playing at right wing back and Barry was, and I wondered, long throw. But I thought if you're going to have a long throw, then you're going to use his long throw, then you're going to have Cosgrove on. So I didn't get it, to be honest. If I'm truthful, I didn't get it.
I thought
But
it
it
was a
worked.
smart substitution.
It worked.
Because they were throwing bodies forward, and I think that Barry Cotter's a lot better in the final third than he is in our final third.
Yeah.
And I thought we were 2-1 up at the time. I thought it was time to fetch Cotter off and fetch O'Keefe on just to give us a bit more defensive stability.
I think he got a bit of a knock as well. Barry kept getting hammered. They kept hammering Barry. I think he limped off a bit. I don't know. Only he knows. But I thought he limped off. But I thought he had a really, really good game. I say I was surprised that he started in front of O'Keefe. Although I thought they both played well on the opposite role. O'Keefe starting against Reading and him coming on. I thought they both played well, which is what I said in the instant reaction. But putting it the other way around, it did surprise me. But I know we lost, but it worked. I thought Barry was really, really good and created them a lot of hassle. What I will say, and it happened again, I was going to say to the instant reaction against Reading, and I'll say it again last night, we need to buy some studs for our players, because the number of times, at crucial times, both against Reading and then last night, they're slipping over. It's just silly. I think at home we need to stop watering the damn pitch before kick-off. I think that's one thing. And at half time, you're watering it because they keep going over, or get longer studs, summit, because we're only ones that seem to lose our footing, that seem to slip at crucial points. And we did it about 3, maybe 4 times last night. Better than on Saturday. We did it a lot on Saturday. So I think that's something we got to really look at. Stop watching pitch at home and look at the studs that we're wearing, because it's too noticeable for me. I thought Barry played really well, really well.
The one sub I didn't really get was Conor Grant for McCart, because we give them the midfield. Literally, that one substitution gave them control of the whole game, because we could no longer press them. We didn't have the bodies. We just swapped Jallo for McAtee, so that were like for like. So that obviously don't change the shape. No. But we put an offensive midfielder off and a defensive centre back on, and I just thought we completely gave them control and run of 75% of that pitch, and that I think that was his downfall.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at the sort of individual errors which led to it, it literally was a poor substitution. But I think the one thing which I've seen on Twitter is Collins getting battered again for substitutions. But on Saturday, 2 subs combined to equalise for us. So it's one of them. I think
I've just praised one though. I've just praised the O'Keefe.
Exactly. I think you're not going to get 100% on rate, are you? You're gonna. There's going to be a few.
It was 2-2 though. It wasn't like we were defending a lead. It was 2-2 at the time, so that's what confused me.
I think to try and understand it is he's probably thought
trying to take a point away. I get it, but
taking point away, and also you put in someone who's got more of a presence on there to go and win headers and things like that, and just to try and think it, assuming maybe to play up break for the last 5 minutes.
It's tough for players to come in though at that time when it's that the pushing for a winner. We're cold. That's the thing, isn't it? The cold and not getting to pace at game, and probably not switched on as players who've been playing for 80 odd minutes and knowing the tempo of the game. And I think that's his downfall.
I think the last few matches, when the 3 of them have played together, when you've had Mile on the right and and Josh Earl on the left, and Jamie McCarthy in the middle.
That's what I mean. It shifted
Looked
everybody
away
around
from
with
each
only
other.
minutes
It
to
did.
go. It don't
It
make
did. We
sense.
weren't as compact. We were wider open, if you like, and we have been the last few times they've been together. I thought we've looked at a much more compact unit when it's been Mile playing as the central one. But it's easy, isn't it? You know, hindsight has 20/20 vision. It's easy afterwards, and as you say, the last match it worked, and there's been times when it has worked, making the substitutions. There's been times when it's not, and sometimes they're the choices. But I agree, it seemed a bit of a strange one for somebody to come in cold so late on, especially as Grant had been playing well. I don't know how shattered they were. Yeah, I don't know if they were tired. I know McAtee were out.
If it had been Russell come on or something like that, I'd have understood, because it's a midfielder for a midfielder.
Yeah.
You know, you're not changing the fundamentals of the formation you've been playing for the whole game.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not going to confuse everybody else on the pitch, which McCart coming on for a midfielder absolutely confused everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
To be fair, you said Russell for Grant as well. You're getting that size in there that you get with McCart.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's more like for like in terms of changing the shape. But yeah, I think it's one thing which it's very easy to look at when you look at a series of events that happen from McCart coming on, of saying he's got that, like, Collins is terrible at substitutions. Well, flick back 3 days and then substitutions and as a point. And to be fair, Jellowick posted nearly won it, which again, 2 subs. Well, a sub would have won us a game.
He should start
that point.
next game as well, Jello. Twice as it posted past 2 games, and he scored last game. You know, and is becoming a bright spark. Or fetch him on earlier, give him more time. Don't just give him 5 minutes. It's not going to help him at all.
I see both sides of it. It's a risky one in one half of let's not pin all his hopes on the 17-year-old to.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, 70 minutes. Give him a bit longer than what you're giving him.
If we manage to get to get in the playoffs, to cement our place in the playoffs on Saturday, I wouldn't have any objection at all for him to do to start against Northampton. But I think to put him on in such a crucial and what will be a cauldron-like atmosphere, I think is expecting too much. The two that played up there didn't do bad. You know, Devante got his mojo back. Not only did he score, he went on some good runs down the wing. He looked bothered and he put himself about. And McAtee the same, apart from just tell him don't let him come back for corners. Stick up on halfway line. don't come back up for corners. I don't like that. Stay where you are, Chuck.
You stay away from our box. If that's all right.
Go down in their box if you want, but not in ours.
You stay outside ours. Yeah, and as you mentioned, Craig, congratulations to Portsmouth on securing the champion promotion and up as champions. Enjoy championship football next season. Hopefully, we'll see them there. Who knows?
I'm really chuffed with my Pompey news now, friend Maya, and Mitchell Moore and his other colleagues. Right.
Well, the downside of last night were pitch invasion and McCart getting thumped by their fans. That was disgusting. That's poor. And I don't know if this is true. I heard that Roberts had his towel ripped out of his hand and something like that, and he got knocked about. But there's no need for that. There's no need for that. They got promoted. They've got up, and fans should respect the opposition.
I mean,
I will just say that. Yeah. I will just say, if English fans do not stop this, we're going to have stadiums like in Serie A where they're all behind cages and they're miles away from pitch. If you're going to go on the pitch, do not touch anybody. There's no need for it. Whether it's an opposing player, an opposing fan, a police officer, or a steward. Keep your hands to yourself, be respectful, and celebrate. That's what you're there to do. You don't need to touch anybody. And the thing is, if they end up playing behind cages, they're going to blame everybody else but themselves. It's annoying.
We can't go back behind cages. We can't go back to those days again. You know, it's only a few days ago that we had.
But if you look at playoffs last season, same happened.
The anniversary of the Hillsborough disaster only a few days ago, and that was due in great part to do with cages. We can't go back to that. But what I would say is, I mean, Jordan Williams tried to take a throw in, and somebody were having tried to have a pop at in them, but didn't quite manage it.
I thought
you're
O'Keefe were
talking
going to try and fate out lower stand at
Yeah,
one stage as well.
Keith wanted ball and won't get ball to him.
Yeah,
And their fans were really getting into Keith when he tried to get ball back.
I mean, remember this: there were over 18,000 fans, or maybe 19. I can't quite remember fans there, and it only takes one nutter to do it. And from what I've seen, the vast majority of Portsmouth fans have condemned the actions because one is they know it could have repercussions for the club. That's a very real possibility. But the second thing is it's wrong, as you said, Craig. It's just wrong. Don't do it.
Andy messaged me, Andy Mitramore from Pompey. Looking around our social media, mate, the fan base is absolutely mortified about it and hoping the guy gets a lifetime ban. So, majority of Pompey fans are way behind wanting this guy to be found.
Well,
the thing is, it takes away from what they've just done.
Yeah.
They've just done a massive thing, and all that's going to be plastered all over the news is Pompey fans assault players.
Yeah.
You know, it takes away from what they've just done. It's daft, but I just hope they can find the person who's done it. You know, there's enough CCTV around. Find out which seat he's come from. You know, because that's how they're going to do it. Find his name through season ticket thing, and then that's it. Just straight ban him for life. You know, you might have been on to celebrate seeing Pompey Championship, but you're going to see it on Sky Sports sat down on your sofa, mate.
Yeah, it is one of the things. It just takes shine off it.
Yeah.
As of the great achievement which it was, which shame to see. But congratulations to Portsmouth fans.
Absolutely.
My friend Adam Murphy, who is a Portsmouth fan, and reminded me they'd gone up as champions after. I've had a few seasons. We've beat Portsmouth quite regularly recently, so I've had a few good years on him.
I will segue to that, to a team that we haven't beaten regularly. Is Blackpool.
I'll tell you what, Craig. I like that one. Well,
hold it back, Craig. Say it again in a sec, Craig. I've just got one final thing to say. My niece, Izzy Lees, comes from Mansfield supporters, so she's as happy as Larry because they've got promotion to League One this week. She's at university in Portsmouth, so she were down there and celebrating is not the right word, but in the pub with Portsmouth fans and a Barnsley fan, and she was saying that they were gutted. So thanks, Izzy. She was supporting us, saying we were the best side. So thank you, Izzy. Give him some stick back, Izzy. Right, what were you saying about Blackpool, Craig?
Well, I was just saying, from a team that we've had a so-so relationship to a team that's completely beat us the last 4 times they've played us, which is Blackpool.
And let me tell you this then: Izzy's brother George and his dad Andy.
Do you know everybody?
I know.
They're flaming. Well, my niece Emma and Izzy are Mansfield fans. Andy and George, her brother, are flipping Blackpool fans. So I can't talk to them a minute. I don't want to talk to them because, we'll see what happens on Saturday. Because I was going to talk to them before, but obviously they beat us at home. We had a dubious penalty, I thought, but they beat us at home. And
dubious?
I didn't want to talk. Well, I'm going to make out it's dubious. Nobody's going to look back over it.
When I say dubious penalty, I've seen all season.
When I say it were a penalty that he dove and he looked at him funny, nobody's going to look back at highlights just to prove me that I'm a liar. Who cares? He went down like Tom Daly. Nobody won't hear him. We were cheated after that. We were robbed.
O'Keefe just levered him. That's why
we were robbed. We were robbed. Don't let the truth. Listen, this is a post-truth world, Josh. I'm going all Trumpian. Don't change it. We were robbed.
If you're going to let feelings change facts, Andy, you might have to end up on Twitter.
It's a witch hunt.
Right, so thanks for tuning into that last 5-minute segue of Andy's ancestry chat. As Craig tried to move us on to Blackpool, we'll move on to Blackpool. So, looking at the stats pack, Neil Critchley back in charge at Blackpool. Top scorer, Jordan Rhodes on 15, 8th in the league. 2 wins, draw, loss, and win in their last 5. And key player Dembele, who I think he's in double figures for goals and assists this season from central midfield. Formation 3-5-2, and the key stat is in the last 8 games there has been no more than 1 goal in them. So a lot of 0-0s, a 1-0 loss to Derby, and 1-0 wins for him over the last 8. I think the 9th game was a 2-0 game as well. So not giving up too much defensively, but also not massively blowing teams away as well. seems like, Andy, that they've got to that point of the season where results is all that matters, and it doesn't really matter how you get over the line as long as you get them 3 points.
They always say that, I always say anyway, that when it starts coming towards the end of the season, the business end, as Alan would call it, when it comes to that last number of matches, Easter onwards, you get some clubs that start rising up and going up. We thought it were Lincoln, and it might still be Lincoln because they did well by winning at Oxford. I don't know what best result for us, but they won 1-0 with 10 men. They had a player sent off and all, so it could be them. But Blackpool's come good. They've I'm echoing to somebody. They haven't lost in the last 10 matches at home. Can you hear me, mate?
I think it's Al's mic that's
Hey,
reverbing.
you play through my headphones, so it's not me.
No, I've got it through my headphones as well. Yeah, so they've not lost at home for, I think something like right at the end of November, I think, since they lost at home. So it's a 1-0, a lot of one-goal wins, and they're rising and coming good. 5 points behind us. You think, well, 5 points behind us, they're going to do really well with 2 games left. But as you say, one of them's against us. As Craig had said earlier, one's against us, and it would certainly put the cat among the pigeons because the goal difference is very similar. We're slightly better, but obviously if we lose to them on Saturday, ours goes down a bit, theirs goes up a bit to make it very close. It's certainly going to be 2 teams filling with the last 2 playoff berths, if you like, and it's either going to be us, Oxford, Blackpool, or Lincoln, and it could be any 2 from the 4. I think if I were any of the others, I'd sooner be in our position than anybody else's position, because we haven't got to win to do it. But that's sometimes dangerous for Barnsley. Sometimes better if we do have to win. Blackpool really have to win, otherwise they're done. So I think they'll come at us. It's good. I think it's good. I don't wish anybody any ill, but Jordan Rhodes has been injured, and I've played for a number of games, and unless they're pulling a fast one, he's not likely to be playing against us on Saturday, which is just as well because he always flipping scores against us. Whoever he plays for, I don't know. He could play for Pogmore under 8s and he'd still score against us. They're one of the teams that is, looking at our competition. I'll just throw competition in again. Get it in Twitter and wherever. So it's good that he's not playing, and I've heard. I mean, it sounded like George Bias is also a bit of a doubt, and he's a good midfield player. And if the rumours were right, we were in for him. I don't know if that's true or not, because you can never tell, can you? But he's a decent player. Gone to them from Sheffield Wednesday, and he's a decent player. So if he don't play as well, it's going to be an interesting game. All to play for. I think we could do it on Saturday. We play anything like we played against Pompey yesterday, they've got no to come.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, Alan, at the minute. We're not entirely sure what version of us is going to turn up. There could be that side that turned against Portsmouth, or it could be that side that turned up against Lincoln, Cambridge, Cheltenham.
It is, Josh. Who knows? I mean, I think last time we won there, 22nd December 2018, we had Cameron McGeehan go 1-0 on 59 minutes, I think. But they're unbeaten this month from April. They've won 3, as Andy says, 1-0. They've won 3-1-0 and drawn at home to Wickham. So are we going to be on beach on Saturday, or are we going to be on grass? I'm hopeful we're going to be on grass, and we're not on beach with donkeys. So let's see what side he puts out, and hopefully we've got gone. Who's back now? Yeah, I've gone as midfielder back.
Luke O'Connell.
Luke O'Connell. Sorry, mine went blank. It's a bit late recording. It's been a long day.
It'd be nice to have Luke about, but I wouldn't object to Conor Grant playing if he plays anything like he did. You've surprised me, Al. I know you've gone on about donkeys on beach. I'm surprised you hadn't said that when we go to Blackpool it'll be a roller coaster of a game. Yeah, I thought you were going to get all of them in, Al.
I just thought we dodge him.
Good lad.
Wow.
Good lad.
What a fantastic viewing this is.
My pal.
Craig, one of those games it's almost not. It's a must not lose for us rather than a must win. Because if we don't lose, it stops Blackpool sort of being a threat. Obviously, there's still the threat of Lincoln in 7th. But should results sort of go our way and Oxford win, it'd probably. I think it does bump us down into 6th, but almost sees us across the line and takes a little bit of pressure off that Northampton game.
Well, Oxford are 2 behind us, Lincoln are 4 behind us, and Blackpool are 5 behind us. So, yeah, it must not lose. Just go there, don't lose. Whether that's going to happen for us or not, I don't really think. I don't really think his form's giving us any hints into how we can turn this around. Because good performance against Pompey, we need to do that again. We need to really. They're going to be right up for the fight. Their fans are going to be right behind them as well. It's like I said, business end of season. It's where you make or break as a team, and we need to. The next 2 games we need to win. We really, confidence wise, taking a bit of momentum into playoffs, we need to win, and we need to win good. We need to look good doing it, because we've the past months been horrific for us. Ever since we had that chance to sniff a second, we've not looked same since. Conor Grant, I think I'd like to see him start again. I think he played well. Obviously, I want to see Jallo play a bit more in a part than last game. You've got to keep an eye on that Karamoko Dembele. I mean, he come from Celtic and he's a tricky winger who they play in midfield, so he goes out wide a lot. Obviously, you've got is it Sean Lavery up top as well?
Okay.
He were good at Championship, so in League One, that's just translated down. So they've got a real strong team when they come and played us. They battened down the hatches at Oakwell and managed to get a couple of goals, a Stonewall penalty.
Never.
Even though Andy will never agree to that. But it's going to be a real tough team just when we don't need to be playing tough teams. We need to
And I
try
don't know what their pitch was like at the moment last season. It wasn't that good, was it? I don't think.
There'll be more potatoes for you to take home, Al, I think. I'm digging that pitch up. But yeah, must not lose. But just as important, we need a good performance again, just to keep rolling on. Because I just feel like if we don't look good, we're just, even if we get into playoffs, we're not going to be there really.
I just hope that game last night don't kick us back again like the Bolton game, thinking we got something out and we didn't.
Yeah, I think that's it's almost one of them that it's like, what do we have to do to just get 3 points at the minute? It feels we deserve something from last night's game, but didn't get it. Andy, prediction.
I don't know what you're all worrying about. It's going to be 2-1 to us. No, don't worry about it. Decorators, I know they're unbeaten in over 10 matches at home and unbeaten a lot of the last one, but they're there to be broken, aren't they? Things are there to be broken. We'd only lost 1 away game in it forever, then we lost 2 on the spin recently. We're getting his mojo back. We're still giving some soft goals away, even with our mojo back. I thought we played well against Reading. I thought we played very, very well against Portsmouth. I think they're back. They're stopping the crab football, possession based, where we're more possession, but we're getting it forward. Devante's got his mojo back and all. He's going off down wings, herring off down the. Depending who plays we got, Bazza that goes off down right wing. Not sure what he's doing here for time. He don't know, I don't think, but he does it, and he's got an extra set. An extra. If we're starting to struggle, if he don't start, bring Cozzy on, because he'll get ball in here. I'm surprised he hasn't been on a bit lately to hold it up. His star rose and then it seems to have sunk a bit again. So I don't really know what he's done wrong, if anything. So I won't worry too much. Kenny Dougal don't play for him anymore. Jordan Rhodes is injured. Bias might not be fit. Yeah, it'll all be off and puff. Though. We'll take him for a ride on a donkey.
2-1. Surprising. Interesting one. Say there's not been more than 1 goal in their games over the last 8.
Well, they won't be on Saturday.
Huh?
There'll only be 1 goal on Saturday. No, it'll be ours. 2-1. Only 1 goal in it.
Oh no, there's only been 1 goal scored. in the last
Oh, right.
8.
Oh, well.
There's only been
we'll
one goal
change that.
scored.
We've got Devante firing again. We've got McAtee
I
firing.
won't say he's firing.
Oh, give up. He scored a
He
good.
scored an hat-trick.
He scored a poacher's goal, and he went flying down wings a couple of times. Once he got taken out, he did all right. He's making a comeback. Don't worry about Coley. He's on his way.
So you think it's all over? Red
I
all over.
think
He's not out, Andy.
Oh, Dunt's game started with his t-shirts and shop and everything. Here we go.
It's not all
Oh.
over.
You've done it, Andy's. You've done it,
It's
Alan.
not all
Right?
over.
We nearly went a full episode.
Yeah.
We
It's
nearly
not
went
all
a
over.
full episode.
I'll say my piece. It's not going to be the big one on Saturday. I've said I don't see where our next 3 points are coming from. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I still can't see us getting 3 points.
Take a point. Stops Blackpool being an issue. Craig?
We'll have a better idea, on Saturday because Oxford are playing at home to
Lincoln.
Stevenage on Friday.
I thought they got
night.
Lincoln.
No, they lost at home to Lincoln the other day.
Lincoln beat them 1-0.
Last night.
Stevenage at Evans list, aren't they?
Yeah, Steve Evans have Leicester.
It's come back home. It's come back home to South Yorkshire.
It's come back home. So we'll know on Friday night because Oxford are at home to Stevenage on Friday night.
That really
Come on, Stevenage. Come on, Matt Farley. Pull it. That's all we need.
I mean, it doesn't really mean out those for us. What's the difference between 5th and 6th?
Yeah, but there's
Whether we play Bolton or Peterborough, it looks.
2 out
Exactly. It
of 4.
don't matter which one we play.
Well,
2 out of 4. So other 3 other than us.
Well, we went
to
before
lose.
in play. We were 6, weren't we? So under Ecky, we were 6. So we'll take 6. We went up when we was 6 last time.
well, I'll give a prediction, seeing as though we're asked before everybody jumped in. I think we're going to lose 2-0. I don't think we've got. I think they've got a lot to play for. I think they're a big club with big players. If George Byers plays, he's changed their season when he come in. The reason why I was so high rate about us signing him when it were rumoured, because I know he'd change it. And he's a good footballer, a really good footballer. So if he plays, yeah, well, I think it's going to be 2-0.
Positive as always, Craig. Like to see it.
I said we'd lose 2-1 against Portsmouth, so I wasn't far off.
Yeah, you only 2 goals away.
One each.
The only person that got it right was Big Kev Beardsall. He said 3-2. There were about 24 that said that Pompey would win out at 56.
I'll take a point.
So we're on a guy in Barnsley cheering when Portsmouth scored that last goal. Then.
Big Kev.
That went down to Big Kev. That went down to Guinea Pig.
Yeah, well, it might have been. So
I'll go for. I think we'll win 1-0. And that's very bold that we're not going to chuck one in a sense. But I just don't think Blackpool are getting up at line, and it's got to stop at some point. I think we'll take the positives from that Portsmouth game and move forward, because there's got to be a point where we actually do play well and win. There's just got to be a point, and it's going to be Saturday, and we're going to roll
as soon as I looked at fixture, I could think we're 2-0. So that's why I'm going 2-0, just because I just can't see us beating them.
I've just gone for a 1-0 win, so comments are on my side this week. That's what I'm playing the YouTube comments.
They can be against me all the like, and their opinions here are fine. There's no.
Don't worry, it's me that's against you in comments, Craig.
Look,
in my burner accounts.
Like I've said many times in the past, if I'm wrong, I'll be glad to be wrong. But I don't think I'm going to be.
No, it's all right. I hope you're not wrong, because I just can't be bothered with that Northampton game being really important.
Yeah.
I want a nice
home as well.
Saturday and sun. That'd be nice. Andy, you've got a message, an important message.
Yeah. Well, when this game was first supposed to be played, we had a message from a Blackpool fan called Lee Johnson, and it's been repeated. And he said it were a bit early because it were in March time about the game on Saturday. That is asked if he's asked everybody really. There's going to be a minute's applause on 13 minutes. It's the anniversary of the death of his 13-month-old son, Paul Lee. So that's an important thing, It's on the 20th, it's his anniversary, and it's a very sad thing. So all our best wishes to to the family and the friends. He's also said there's a charity event on Saturday as well at 6:30 at the Armfield Club, which is Blackpool's, I suppose Blackpool's version of the Remington Club or whatever. I don't know. It's Blackpool FC's main club, to raise funds for Brian House, which is a children's hospice. And there's a Just Giving page if anybody wants to make any donations. So, you know, there's that for the support that people give all across the country. We've done it for our own hospice in Barnsley, and they're doing it for their local hospice that get no funding from anywhere else. It's only from donations and what have you, and grants. They don't get grants from the government or anything like that. So that's a charity event. But mainly, it's 30 minutes applause for a child that died infinitely too soon at 13 months old, Paul Lee.
Yeah, so any Reds travelling down to Blackpool, make sure you get involved in that as well. I know we always do as a club, so just make sure you get involved in that. And we'll be back with you on Sunday with our reaction to the Blackpool game, hopefully in the top 6. And it's secured and all sorted. But we'll see. You Reds.